Yeah.
It is time to call the meeting to order. Sandra, would you call roll call, please?
Councilman Brady?
Here.
Frederick?
Here.
Brohart? Hanson?
Here.
Thank you. I invite the public to make any comments on the items on the agenda as shown, and also item number 4 is a citizen's opportunity to address the council on items not on the agenda. We'll move on to number 2, consent of agenda. A, approval of agenda. B, approval of the minutes of the September 26, 2011 council meeting. And C, claims. Are there any questions or is there any discussion over 2A, B, or C?
I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve consent of agenda A, B, and C. Would you call for a vote, please?
Councilman Brohart?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Brady?
Yes.
Frederick?
Thank you. Item number 3A, wastewater treatment plant project. Consideration of approving drawdown number 20 of SRF loan money in the amount of $42,768.55. Is there any discussion or do you have any questions regarding A1? And before we do, before things come.
About 98%, 99% done. They're going through another punch list is being worked on now for completion of the project.
Make a motion to approve the drawdown.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to approve the drawdown number 20 in the amount of $42,768.55 for the SRF loan. Would you call for a vote, please?
Councilman Brady?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Brohart?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 3A2 is consideration of approving Snyder and Associates bill in the amount of $13,935.57 for engineering services. And there any questions around that?
So move to approve the bill for $13,935.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve Snyder and Associates bill for $13,935.57. Please call for a vote.
Councilman Brohart?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Brady?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Number 3 is consideration of approving Erickson Construction's bill in the amount of $28,832.98. Any questions or discussions around A3?
Also move to approve A3 consideration of approving Erickson's bill in the amount of $28,832.98.
Motion has been made and seconded. No, there's not been a second. If someone second, please.
Second.
Okay. Now the motion has been made and seconded to approve Erickson's bill in the amount of $28,832.98. Call for a vote, please.
Councilman Frederick?
Yes.
Brohart?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Brady?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Item number 4, citizens' opportunity to address the council on items not on the agenda. Alan, did you have?
Yeah, just curious on the street abatement up there by our place. Where is that going to be sitting at? And kind of Adam had stated maybe things would start progressing again.
Sure.
Okay.
All I'm really waiting on right now is to get a proper legal description for the property. I know Jeannie Green was assisting me with that, and I need to touch base with her and see if she's got that ready. But as soon as that's ready, I will give you a call.
Okay.
As soon as that's ready, because we'll publish another public hearing when that occurs. So you'll get fair notice, because I'll have to have it in the paper before I can even have it.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody, we had that ground surveyed up there, and all I can ask that, with your city inspector, make sure they know where the lines are at, because our garage, where the lot line actually is, and somebody had to approve that building permit, but that street line goes right through the center of my garage and down that driveway, so I guess for just future notice, just make sure that everybody's aware of where lot lines are, because again, it was somebody allowed that to happen, and it's
Well-
unfortunate.
One of the things I will point out, that's probably a good education for council too, one of the things we do not guarantee in our permit process is the lot locations.
Yeah.
That is particularly the responsibility of the property owner in a permit application.
So-
I'm at least glad I can at least clear that up.
You know, because I was really surprised when we got that piece of property located, and I was kind of shocked at where the lines were with it, so. And then I have one other question too. On South 16th Street there, between the 2 and 300 block, we seem to be getting a local junkyard in up there with a lot of debris sitting in a driveway. There's refrigerators, furnaces, air conditioners. There's a lot of debris up there. And I'm just concerned with the large number of the kids that are in that area. If there's a freezer in there and they get inside of that and get locked into it, it could be tragic. But I don't know what the city ordinance is. John, it's on the west side of the street, and I'm not sure exactly who's moving.
16th or South?
South 13th Street.
Oh, 13th, you said
Yeah.
16th.
I said 16th Street, I meant South 13th Street, but we seem to have acquired a local junkyard
I believe
up
we've
there.
served them, if I'm
Good,
not
because there's,
mistaken.
you know, there's a
Yeah,
ton
I've
of kids
noticed
up
that,
there,
yes.
and the other day, those kids were both, I mean, if you get a little forewarning, somebody's gonna run out in the street, but there was a bunch of kids up there come around that corner and right out into the
It
street.
accrued real quick. that
Yes,
mile.
it does.
Yeah, it wasn't there one day, and the next it seemed it was there.
Yeah, and that's the only other concern I have for the council, is I'd like to see them maybe
But I'll check on that tomorrow.
address that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll move on to 5, license and permits. A, renewal license Viking Bay Sports Bar and Grill, DBA Viking Bay Sports Bar and Grill, Class C liquor license with outdoor service and Sunday sales. John, do you have any input on this?
No problem.
Everything's good?
Everything's really good.
Any council, any questions or discussion?
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion's been made to approve the renewal license Viking Bay Sports Bar and Grill, and seconded. Would you call for a vote, please?
Councilman Brocart?
Yes.
Hanson?
Yes.
Franny?
Yes.
Frederick?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item number 6, miscellaneous. As I said at the last council meeting, there were 3 of us that attended the League of Cities conference, and we all chose different workshops to attend, and we will be reporting on those, and we'll kind of be taking turns so that it doesn't take a whole long period of time, and we can answer any questions that you might have. And Adam is first tonight. He is going to discuss
Storm sewer.
storm sewer.
Actually, I have 2 different groupings that I was going to talk
Okay.
about. The storm sewer, they had a presentation on storm sewers where they talked about some additional uses for your storm sewer utility. In particular, one of the things that they focused on was mitigation planning. And one of the things they used as a source of mitigation planning was a rebate program. They suggested that a lot of the communities would find that for every dollar that they rebated their citizens for doing things as far as rain gardens or bioswales or things of that nature on their own properties, would turn around and save them $2 to $3 in outlay of improvement programs or additional development work for water runoff purposes once it leaves the actual properties. If they can keep more of the water on those properties and provide some incentive for individuals to do that, it would make sense. And so one of the things that I am in the process of doing and will likely see sometime between November and December is a rough plan in the form of a resolution that would include some type of program along these lines for the purposes of developing that type of system. As of right now, I will tell you, we're one of the smaller communities that is looking at this type of program, but I do think it is a valuable item regardless of the size of your community, because being that we do have a lot of farm areas around our community, runoff not only around town, through town, going to the river is a concern for us. And any water that we can have retained on a piece of property, one, reduces the amount of need not only for the rain sewers, for the storm sewers, but it can also dramatically impact the condition and what goes as far as infiltration into your sanitary sewers. So it definitely not only has an impact on storm sewer side, but also on sanitary sewer side as well. So I will be working on that for the council as a result of that particular training class I took. Another one that I took was focusing on updates on the open meetings and open record laws. Wednesday night at the airport meeting, I'm planning to attend and provide a new presentation to them that provides them an up-to-date understanding of all of the nuances that go with your open records and open meeting laws. What I will likely do past this point, after I get a little feedback from them, is I plan on incorporating it into an orientation for elected officials and also for the other boards that are represented by the community, whether they be city-related or separate entities all in and of themselves. I'd probably go ahead and invite entities like Kids World and the Rec Center and the community center and also take involvement in that, because it's important for us all to make sure that we understand how those rules apply and that we're all following them appropriately.
Thank you. Okay, we're moving on to 6G, which is consideration of application by Tom Kraft, Jane Geary, Brian Mailer, and Trent McDonough for a bow hunting license for hunting inside the city limits. John, would you,
I checked them all, and they're all approved.
okay? Council, do you have any reservations or questions or anything?
None. Can we lump them all together, or do they have to be individual? Make a motion to approve the application by Tom Kraft, Jim Gary, Brian Mailer, and Tim McDonough for a bow hunting license inside the city limits.
Is there a second?
Second.
A motion has been made and seconded to approve the application by Tom Kraft, Jim Gary, Brian Mailer, and Trent McDonough for bow hunting in the city limits. Would you call their vote, please?
Councilman Hanson,
Yes.
Brandy,
Yes.
Frederick,
Yes.
Brumhart,
Yes.
motion carried.
6C is discussion on possible temporary burn ban due to dry conditions. Adam?
Sure. Sitting at your table this evening when you arrived is an update that occurred once we pretty much had the council packet set. That is on Friday, Jim Bullock, our emergency management coordinator, contacted the state fire marshal and requested that the county be put on there basically an open burning ban. And right now, the way that's set up, Mr. Bullock would then contact the state fire marshal to then remove that burn ban. We also have the authority at the city level to take into consideration the possibility of setting our own burn ban within this. The justifications for doing that would be that if you feel that there should continue to be a burn ban after the state marshal lifts his, based upon the information provided by Mr. Bullock, it would be our place to put that into place and then, of course, remove it at that time. So the question before the council is why we are under a state-controlled burn ban. Do you want to retain the decision-making process that if you want to continue to keep it longer than the state has it in place, then the proper thing for us to do would be to state our own burn ban in place until further notice.
The only thing that I agree with this statement is everybody's heard the horror stories and the compound fires, whatever's going on in the country. But my question would be, okay, say we wanted to control it, and then all of a sudden we got too much of the rain, waited a couple of days, then we have to have another week to get rid of it. I think it'd be simpler to just let the state come in and agree. That way we don't have to.
We don't need a motion for that, we would need a motion to make our own. I think we want to leave it.
Well, you-
Will the state be able to act as quickly as we want them to?
Well, we can't over supersede the state. If they say it's still closed, we can't go, okay, we decided we're gonna open it.
Correct. Our choice would be if we wanted to continue to keep it on after the state. The state will make all of their decision based upon what Mr. Bullock shares with you. So really, the question is do you feel comfortable with Mr. Bullock's decision on when this closes, or do you want to retain control of deciding when this is?
Do you need a motion, Adam? No, you didn't. That's the
Unless
one.
it's being supported,
Okay. I don't believe, the way it looks, there's any support for our own, so we will move on to,
Question. Is that being communicated to the public? I mean, I would assume not very many people know that there in fact is a burn ban. In fact, I had a person call me Sunday morning.
correct. I understand that this was only enacted sometime midday on Friday, and that then there was an attempt to put it on the radio at that time. Have you been contacted, Bill? So I know that there has been some attempt made. Now, I know we got several phone calls this morning from people asking us. And of course, we were communicating at that time that we were under a state control during that.
There was something in the Mouth paper.
Little something.
And they were wondering more if they could start burning now, thinking that.
Correct. I just hope that they take the step, and I'll communicate that to Mr. Bullock, but I hope that there's a step made to communicate it out once the burn ban is lifted, because otherwise, no one will have a clear indication when that doesn't.
well, we can remind him, I mean, ask him, it's okay to give him a call and say, how are things, is it fine?
Oh, right.
Okay. Okay, is there any other discussion around that? If not, we'll move to number 7, which is public input on solid waste matters. Public? If there is none, we'll move on to 8, the council forum. Anything to report? Council.
Well, there's good progress being made on the storm sewer up on South 10th Street. They've repaired 3 of the 3, areas that were just on Steve Shea point. And Steve Irwin and Frank Strand approached the council so that they have yet to fill the hole and do some checking, but it looks like it's coming along really well. Do you have anything to add to that?
No. Other than the other issue that's recently come up to the council, just to bring you all up to speed on, is there's been some question about, of course, the state of the water up around the loop, around the golf course. We did meet with the vendor last week, and there is a 2-week notice requirement. However, Jim thinks in the process that we're planning on doing it will not require a DNR permit to receive, which is actually probably good news from the perspective of timing. The question now is we've got to identify all the different service lines, make sure we have all of our side coordinated, because there is some effort that we have to take in this process to shut all of the system down in that area, and of course prior to doing that, notifying everyone, because what you really want to do is you really want to do this whole process in one day, so that you are providing as little encumberment to the people who live up in that area that will be affected.
Anything else?
And the fence has been ordered out of the sanitary sewer plant, so if any of you are interested in knowing more, I know Dwayne thought it would get put up in the next week or so. I believe it may be this week, but next week.
Okay. If there's nothing else to discuss, no further business conduct, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved. I'll second it.
Motion has been made and seconded to adjourn. Please call for a vote.
Councilman Hanson,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Sprecher.
Yes.
Bromart,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you.
And I'll give you